should we just try to dive in here, Javier?
Yeah, I think so. So thanks everybody for joining, and Jim also for your time. So basically, we wanted to quickly chat about VIPM 2020. I know internally we're super excited about the release, and we've had a bunch of people testing the new release. So I just wanted to chat and basically talk to people about what were some of the features that VIPM 2020 is going to include, and then basically give them a chance to ask questions. And we'll manage the lag when they ask questions. So yeah, maybe do you want to give us kind of an overview of VIPM 2020, Jim, and then we kind of take it from there, where we are.
Yeah, yeah, I would absolutely love to do that, Javier. And yeah, just extending some thanks to everybody out there. Everybody's working from home. It's nice to take a little time to connect with everybody here and see some names I recognize out there online. So yeah, let's see here. Deep breath. There's a lot to talk about. So we have been working really, really hard on VIPM 2020. VIPM has been out there for about 15 years.
Wow.
And, it's, yeah, so it has been, for the past 15 years, the package manager for Labview add-ons, the way people build packages, install add-ons into Labview. And so we felt it was time to give it a bit of a refresh from visual appearance and also really address some workflows. Also, we were really excited that National Instruments announced the Community Edition of Labview, which will make Labview freely available for non-commercial and non-academic, meaning home users and, let's say, open source developers who want to build tools for the community. And so, we really wanted to get behind that and to, put a lot of love into VIPM. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So I guess, the first thing is we've added support for Labview 2020. Of course, Labview 2020, it typically comes out at around NI week, and NI's announced that, Labview 2020 is coming soon. So we've added support. And there's, some good stuff coming in Labview 2020 around object orientation, more malleable VI improvements. So we've, of course, worked hard to make sure VIPM 2020 will support all those great new features. So that's going to be there for people upgrading to Labview 2020 so they can build packages with stuff. The other thing we've done is we have a fresh new UI design. And so maybe, Javier, I can share my screen and show you what the new VIPM UI
Yeah, go ahead.
looks
I
like.
think that's a great place to start. Basically, just showing people the new UI, which I think everybody's gonna appreciate, and we've been trying to do that for a while, and now we finally got it out there. And thanks to Eric and Jim for working so hard on this.
Yeah, Eric, our visual designer, famous for the JKI design palette. Yeah, so we actually took a lot of the tools that we built around the design palette and the control sets, and we wanted to apply that JKI design palette approach to VIPM 2020. So here, I'm going to launch VI Package Manager 2020, and one of the things you'll see here is we have a spinning cube on the splash screen, which is pretty cool. Eric built that for us. And it's intentionally a little bit retro and pixelated, part of the deal here. So VIPM's launching, and what we immediately will notice if we used VIPM for the last 15 years is that the visual design is different. The icons are much more flat. We've used color very sparingly throughout the design to focus on the things that matter. For example, there's a little dependency issue here. So if we pop up and it says, hey, the parse SDK package is missing this RESTful service library. So, we need to resolve that dependency. We also, have some color kind of splashed in here. You can see the green check marks means the packages are installed. If I sort by this, maybe I have some upgrades available to these packages. This package is the one with the conflict. If you look in the options dialog, you can see all the check marks. We used orange for the check enabled, and again, use color very sparingly and use very kind of flat iconography so that it's really easy on the eyes, and the eyes are kind of drawn to the things that matter most. And then also, too, I think by default, users see that we kind of have this Windows. We have a more kind of modern, flat title bar here. And then, it works just like a normal Windows title bar. It's got some bigger buttons there. You can, if you want, show the menus, and then it kind of goes back to kind of the old style. So in a nutshell, that is the visual design refresh. I'm going to open the package builder so you can see that, we put some design love into the package builder. We've got, kind of some pretty simple icons here. Again, kind of reduce color so they don't really pop out at you too much, but you can find what you're looking for. So yeah, that's the visual design refresh. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, and then I'm going to talk about a little more. Did you have questions about the design refresh, Javier?
I mean, I think not question, but just I think there was a lot of work. I mean, basically, people that have used VIPM for the past 15 years know that VIPM has a ton of features. So it was a lot of work on both you, Jim, and Eric to actually make that happen. So I think everybody at JKI and everybody that is going to use VIPM is going to appreciate that. One thing I wanted to ask you that is not related to the UI necessarily, but you mentioned that, so basically Labview community being out there was kind of a big push for us to kind of make changes to VIPM. So I wanted to ask you about that. So how do you see basically both Labview community being out there and also VIPM Community Edition being out there? I want to hear your thoughts about basically what's that gonna do for the Labview community.
Yeah, that's a great question. So Labview Community Edition is essentially a version of Labview for non-commercial, non-academic use. Meaning, if you're at home, you've got a hobby project, or even you've got an idea for a startup or something like that, and you're not actually like generating revenue, you can use Labview. And again, check the license agreement. Anything I say is just my interpretation of what I think it means. But basically, you can use Labview for free if you're, not making money off of it, non-commercial, non-academic use. And so I'm really excited about that, because that basically means that, like, high school, junior high kids, I don't know, elementary school kids are going to be like digging into Labview and tinkering on projects and deploying it to Raspberry Pis and all kinds of stuff. And, people who want to learn Labview, who can't afford the professional license, which, is pretty pricey because it's used in professional engineering and science settings, they can learn how to do visual programming using the full-featured Labview. So I think that's going to be great in terms of getting young people, students interested. Also, just people that are hobbyists, or just people who are out in the world and maybe their job isn't doing Labview, so they can't get their bosses or the company they work for to justify purchasing Labview. They can just go out and learn it on their own at home and develop a new skill, and then join kind of the Labview workforce with that skill set. So I think there's going to be a lot more people using Labview in the world because of Labview Community Edition. So now you asked about VIPM Community Edition, and so what we decided it would be really important for that community of new Labview users using it for non-commercial, non-academic purposes to be able to use VIPM in a similar capacity.
Right.
And so, we wanted to make essentially a licensed version of VIPM for community users. that matched up with NI's Labview Community Edition license. And then we also wanted to go kind of a step further and very explicitly state that, even if you work for a company or an academic institution, if you are building and sharing packages for the community, and these are freely available, no charge tools, and you're sharing the source code, and you're licensing it under approved open source license, one of the standard licenses, then you can use Community Edition for free to do that and build and share your packages and get it out there. And so we're hoping that, also helps really kind of feed that nucleus of Labview enthusiasm out there in the community.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And I mean, we have a ton of people that have been using the VIPM 2020 just in a beta capacity. And I mean, we hear a ton of feedback of just how excited people are of being able to use VIPM Community Edition. So I'm really happy that we're having that out there. So one thing, basically, maybe, I don't know if you want to add anything about the Community Edition part, Jim, but...
one thing I would add, just so that people know, the Community Edition of VIPM, so if, you fit one of these use cases, you're building free packages to share or non-academic, non-commercial, you basically get, nearly all the package building features of VIPM, and then also the package configuration management for your Labview projects. So it's essentially a lot of the pro package building config management features. So those users will find it to be very powerful. And then I'll get to it a little bit later, but we've also kind of built in kind of a community package sharing into the VIPM product itself that we're really excited about too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And maybe because we know there's a lag between us and the real world now. So maybe if people have questions, just feel free to type them, and then we'll read them and answer them, even asynchronously. So we can do that. So yeah, let's talk a bit about what you were saying about the publisher program. And I know we kind of kept this in secret for a while within JKI, and once we announced that, people were super excited. So maybe let's talk a bit about that.
Yeah. So we ever since, well, essentially for a long time, we've really wanted to open VIPM's package sharing capabilities. JKI, hosts a network repository of packages that we make available. We've made a lot of JKI stuff. NI also has packages that are available through the Labview Tools Network. And what JKI really, cares about is the community having access to very, high quality stuff. And so we've worked hard, essentially with essentially kind of our legal department on, what we can do for the community and how we can basically, moderate and make sure that, people are, doing the right stuff that they share, and that also we have, the proper infrastructure to allow, kind of the community to also moderate and communicate, the stuff that's out there that's working well for them, or if they have a problem with stuff, we can things that have a problem. And so, we're proud to say that we do have that infrastructure in place now, and that we've announced the community publisher program. And I can even show you guys a little example of that. I've got a few more VIPM features that I'd like to show you kind of leading up to that too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I think there was a question from Derek. I don't know if we want to answer it. Basically, he's saying that I see that there's going to be a community feed for packages, but right now, sign up for it is per package. I've already got about 15 I'd like to add, with more coming, especially as I ramp up on Linux or Linux. Any chance of getting pair account access to posting packages instead of per package?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good question, Derek. So we currently have essentially kind of a publisher's portal through the VIPM desktop product that essentially uses the web as a portal for that, and that's basically right now. Publishers essentially have to get their package approved, and it has to meet a set of requirements. It has to be free of charge. It has to be licensed under an approved open source license. And it also has to, be, let's say, industry standard quality. And so for getting kind of the ball rolling, we need publishers to, agree to those terms. And then, we also have to, vet the publishers, especially initially the ones we allow, make sure stuff is, very high quality and that everybody kind of understands it. We do have a fully automated web backend, and so that will be something that gets even more streamlined in the future once package publishers have been authorized. New versions of packages, publishing that will be really easy, and then the hurdles for adding a new package if one is already an authorized publisher will lower that hurdle as well. So that's a good question, Derek.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, maybe. So you were gonna show us some of the new VIPM features. So yeah, let's dive into
that. Yeah. So let me see how to share my screen again here. Thanks for your patience while I do that. Okay, so one of the features that we are really excited to be adding here, and I'm just going to launch Labview in the background, is tighter Windows integration, both in terms of usability and performance. So one of the things that we wanted to do was to make it really easy for people to launch VIPM. So there's a new system tray icon that shows up when you've got VIPM running at launch VIPM. It'll sit in the system tray. And basically, when you see that in the system tray, anytime you're doing an operation with VIPM, it'll happen really fast. For example, if you choose the package manager here, you see it opens very, very quickly. If you double click on a package, piece of our design palette, I'm going to just close that. And then the other thing that we've done is in this system tray, we've added access to a new window, kind of a new user experience for finding, installing, and kind of sharing your favorite packages and seeing some data on which packages are popular. So if I double click that, you'll see new VIPM browser. And what the VIPM browser is essentially a web browser experience into the VIPM online package database. And so what we really wanted to address, we wanted to make it really, really easy for people to find stuff. So if I'm looking for state machines, and if I spell here, so you see here, it shows some results. It's actually, it has a spinning cube there. You can see it was pulling some results. And we can see a check mark here. That means that that's installed. We can see different packages. We can browse between those. And this, it has a very simplified and streamlined interface. One thing I do want to mention is people have asked, well, how is this different from the package manager kind of main UI? If you click this VI, you can get to that main user interface. It has a lot of features. It's got write on packages and things like that. We've left all that functionality there and have continued to improve upon it. And for people who are just looking to find and install a package, the VIPM browser has been really, really streamlined to do that. So I'm going to look for like a 1D array library. Actually, I can see I've already got the MGI one installed. I'll expand my search, you can see the little cube says it's searching. Let's say I want to install the G-Power array library. Oh, I need to log in here. Let's see. I'm going to stop sharing while I do this so people don't steal my password. Not that anybody out there would do that. So one thing that I will mention about this, so, and I'm logged in right now, because this uses a web backend infrastructure to manage, kind of all the data on the searching and the starring of packages. Users to star packages if they like it. For example, I'll do that now, and we can see that, well, it's installing. But we can add a star, and on the back end, we're tabulating, how many stars a package has, and we don't want users to star a package multiple times. So, we have people log in to use this experience because it's essentially communicating with our back.
Yeah, and I see a spinning cube in the system tray.
Yeah. So we do have a spinning cube in the system tray. What will often happen while things are installing, people may want to, close that and go back to developing Labview. And you can see that the cube is still spinning there, meaning we're still installing the package. We can go about working on our code, and maybe we have an array that we're operating on, and we're just waiting for that great package of array stuff to download so that we can use those CDIs. And then what'll happen is once that package is fully installed, we'll get a Windows system alert. So I mentioned that we've got tighter Windows system integration. Oh, cool. My package is installed. I can click that, and it says, oh, great, the installation is complete. This window's a little big. I'm going to make it smaller. You can see I click that, and it's got a little kind of compact mode. I click the open button, and it says, oh, here's that package. And now I'm just going to remove some duplicates from that array. And I didn't even have to stop writing my code while I was getting the package of these tools that I was looking for.
Yeah, so I think that's great. And I was going to ask you about basically what do you think the ideal workflow in your head is now that you have kind of the VIPM browser?
Yeah.
Just because I use that now when I'm developing, and I'm just curious, in your mind, what's the new workflow that's going to allow for people?
Yeah, so I the workflow for a lot of Labview developers is we tend to switch between projects a lot. Different projects use different packages, and you may discover that either a package that you need for a project isn't in your project's package configuration or it's installed, and you want to quickly find it, install it, or you're just doing something new, and you just want to know, like, is there a package out there for doing secure hash? And I'm not sure. There you go. So, like, for example, this SHA 256.
We're not seeing your screen.
What's that?
We're not seeing your screen right now. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So let me share my screen. All right, here we go. Yeah, so basically, I'm coding Labview, and I'm thinking to myself, I've got a file, and I need to do a secure hash on it, and I'm just wondering, who has an algorithm to do hashing. And I go, oh, okay, there's an encryption library, and I can search for things that way. I can click the link, find out more information about the developer, look at the documentation. Secure hash algorithm is one here. You can see Gavin Burnell at Leeds has developed one. we could install that. So just, if you're looking for things, this makes it a lot easier. So, if we go over to VIPM, it shows you stuff. But one of the things that, we're going to be doing is the VIPM search is kind of a filter of the things that show up in package list. And the VIPM browser search actually uses kind of a Google-like search backend for all the packages that are out there, and it's extremely powerful, very fast, and we've done a lot of work just in terms of just improving the quality of the search results, ranking terms in the name higher than description and stuff like that, so that we can do a better job of giving the right results to people. So I think if you need to quickly find and install something, the VIPM browser is a great tool. And I think along those lines too, people often want to know like what good stuff is out there.
Right.
So what we've done is we've added these buttons to the bottom here, these links. So you can click on new releases and see what new stuff is out there. And so this is organized, all the latest stuff is at the top. You see, there's a new G command line interface, GCLI.
Cool.
And it's a package that supports client side of two-way command line interface. So if you're building a Labview application and you have a command line interface to your application, this library by James McNally is great. And you can see, James just released a new version, like, I don't know, it looks like 4 days ago or something like that. And so we can really, have our finger on the pulse of what's happening in the Labview community in terms of packages that are released. The other thing too is if we want to see, well, what do people like the most? What are the most starred packages? We can see, there's a lot of people out there that really like the Arduino interface. The OpenG library is really popular, the JKI stuff. And again, too, we just announcing that the release candidate for 2020 is available. So the backend doesn't have like a ton of user data at this point in time, but over the next several weeks as we release this, we're going to get a lot of good data in there, and you can also see just which packages are the most installed. You can see it uses kind of like a little VIPM URL there in the VIPM browser that you can actually share this with your colleagues, and web pages that have this VIPM link, when you click it, will pop open, and packages have their own link as well. So
yeah, I think one thing that you mentioned, I think, which is pretty cool and I'm pretty excited about, is so basically everything is available to me right there. Basically, you wanted to learn more about the developer of that library, so you just click the link that took you to GitHub. I can just read, okay, I'm okay, then I'll install it. Everything from the VIPM browser. So I think that's one of the things that I'm the most excited about.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks awesome, and it's super snappy, which I think is also it's also great, right? It just you don't really want to be sitting there waiting for a search.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so, really we did want it to be snappy. If you're looking for a specific Labview tool, you can just, double click that icon in the corner there. Again, we have a kind of a compact mode you can use to find stuff. And, you're looking for array libraries and, or a drone toolkit. You can quickly, I mean, all joking aside, you can search here for just about anything. Hopefully it'll show up. There you go. And you can, learn more about it and go to their website. And yeah, so we're just hoping that, this is a quick into all the good stuff available for Labview developers.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. I also, I mean, I know that being able to star a package and being able to see how many people have downloaded that package, I think that's gonna play at least for me, just because we're used to seeing ratings everywhere. I mean, I think that's gonna play an important role. Just, I mean, I want to know if people trust that package. I want to know if people have liked that package. So I think that could be really important for people.
Yeah, I think people will like that.
Cool. So I think we covered basically the new UI. So the UI looks really awesome. It looks a ton better, and basically we've been preaching about just how to make Labview UIs look really awesome for a while. So basically, I think this refresh of VIPM, it just shows what you can do with your user interface that is written in Labview. You can make it look super professional and super nice. So I think that's great. Um, Also, we talked about the Labview, the VIPM Community Edition, which I think is going to be huge. And basically, we wanted to have it out there alongside with Labview Community. And then the one thing that I know, Jim, you're super excited about, almost as excited as I am, is the Publishers program. And basically, we're just getting started with that. And basically, as one of the questions that we had, basically, I think we're just working on how to make it more streamlined so that basically we can have people sharing as soon as possible with the community.
Yeah, and I again, I assume you can see it on there.
Yeah, I can see the question. So there was a question about
Oh, and I've shared my screen. Can you see my
yeah, we
screen? I
can.
wanted to just give people a little preview. Yeah, so on, for example, here we've got a share link, share a package. We've got a similar link on the package builder for people who want to share their package. And there's also a link here in the VIPM browser window. And so if you click that link, it's going to take you to the publisher portal. And this is going to be refined and streamlined. Really, you just click continue. And I'm waiting for a really nice logo that Eric made to show up here. So you click continue and you just type your name. That's my email address. Feel free to send me emails. So, we've asked people, does your tool meet the criteria for community publishing? It's got to be free of charge. It has to include source code, and it has to be licensed or an OSI approved open source license. And we'll have more information and guidance about that. A lot of people use the BSD 3-clause license, or people refer to it kind of just as the BSD. And there's some other good ones too, but you say, yes, it meets those criteria. And then we ask you, which license are you using? And you have a recommendation, and you just let us know which license. You can either upload your package file directly in here, or you can put a URL to where the package is hosted. For example, if you've got like a GitHub file release and you just have the URL package, you can send that and just let us know your package homepage, any comments, and you submit, and then it's in the queue for publishing, and then we'll be in touch with you really shortly about how to finalize the publishing step.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And we had a quick question that is related, and I'll go back. I know there's a question before that. So the question
Sure.
from Derek was about MIT license and package description linking to GitHub. So is that sufficient?
Let me see what that question here.
Is the last one.
MIT license and package description linking to GitHub sufficient for that? I think the MIT license is one of the OSI approved licenses. I'm not totally sure that I understand the full question that Derek is asking about, like description linking to GitHub. We do ask in the package description that people state the name of the license. So there's a field for license, and people can include the license file inside the package of the license agreement, software license agreement. Okay. So I know what Derek is asking about. So there is a requirement that we make the source code to the contents of the package and the package publicly available. We want people to be able to edit the code and see the code and maybe even rebuild the package for themselves. So having the package source code available in a GitHub repo is absolutely sufficient for meeting the meeting that term, that condition for community publishing.
Okay.
If your source code is in a GitHub repo or a GitLab repo or a Bitbucket, it's open source, you're good.
Okay, cool.
So hopefully that answers your question, Derek. That was a good question.
Yeah, and yeah, so Derek, let us know if that answered your question, and if you have any follow-up questions about the license. But maybe let's go back to so Benjamin had a question about releasing a VIPM for Mac OS and Linux. So I know that's something that we've talked about, Jim. But yeah, do you want to comment?
Yeah, sure. So we have been doing work to get VIPM going on Mac. Let's see here. Where's my meeting? So here is VIPM splash screen running on a Mac, and we're not 100% there yet. We've got a lot of testing to do. You can see it popping up a little dialogue. We've been doing some, just we're at a point where we've gotten it running from source code. We can do builds. We've got a bit of UI polishing. It's a non-trivial effort just in terms of like fonts and making it look as well as it runs. But I wanted to just show you that, here we've got VIPM, it's giving me little dialogue boxes about .NET assemblies that it can't find. So yeah, we're working on getting all the little kinks out, but yeah, it's working to some degree, and then we're gonna absolutely be continuing to work to polish this up and get a Mac and Linux built out. Hopefully, I haven't shared too much.
Oh, that's awesome. I was a little worried because I hadn't even seen that demo, so I was worried.
Yeah. I figured I would use that opportunity to surprise you, Javier.
Cool. Yeah. Well, so, I mean, I'll again open the floor for questions from people if you have any questions. But I mean, we can start wrapping up the conversation. Do you anything that you want people to know about VIPM 2020, Jim, that we haven't discussed?
Well, yeah. So I guess I would say we had a beta program. It was a closed beta, and we had about 150, maybe even 200 people sign up for that, and we had just some really active beta participants who helped us identified bugs and gave us a lot of good feedback on features. And so we've really been working hard to get this up and working. And so it's gotten a lot of love from a lot of people. And so they, shout out and thank you to the beta testers. We couldn't have done that without you. So we fixed a lot of bugs. The other thing too, we made some performance improvements, both in terms of like memory utilization, like the speed time kind of load and things like that. So you'll there. We've done things like improving like the scan for package dependencies and the package configuration so it works better and finds more stuff like dependencies of classes and things like in this kind of a few little corner cases over the years, or actually as Labview added more features, maybe the way it was initially implemented, did take into consideration the new Labview features and things like that. So there's lots of good stuff coming. And, the other thing too that I'm really excited about is, we've seen publicly on the CLA Summit, Americas, that, NI has presented on G interfaces. Yep. Which is a new object-oriented language feature, and you can see my eyes get big. I'm really excited about this. It's essentially kind of like, classes, kind of, but without, data in it. It's a way of kind of doing multiple inheritance without getting into a lot of problems. So, so we're getting a new object-oriented language in 2020, and VIPM, we put a lot of work into making sure that we can build packages that have the new interfaces in them. And so interfaces are great for reusable code, modular reusable code. And of course, people, once they create modular reusable code, want to package it up. And so we're really excited that VIPM is going to be able to do that for people. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the last thing that I would add is, I'm just really excited about VIPM 2020. I'm excited about Labview 2020 and all the community edition features. And then, I guess the other thing I kind of want to say, since I have the microphone, is, it's a lot going on in the world right now. And it's just nice to be, able to be on YouTube Live and, doing a little kind of virtual meeting and answering questions and staying connected to people and putting good stuff out into the world.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And basically, I mean, you and I, Jim, have chatted about just, I mean, how do we want to, I mean, how do we make sure that we use what we have in our platform and our skills to basically help people right now. So basically, we want to make sure that our tools like VIPM are just available for people. We've put out the online training, and we've got a lot of people taking the training. So basically, if anybody out there thinks that there's ways in which JKI can help them, especially if they're working on something related to the coronavirus, just send us a message and we can chat, because we wanna help. One question, I see a question from Chris. He's asking, any plans to expand the VIPM API for those who want to include their CI or CD pipelines?
So CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous delivery.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot of great feedback in the beta. One of the things that we had to do is make sure that our command line interfaces, we've made those work with Community Edition. So we had to go through all the command line stuff and test it in Community Edition mode. And so what I would say, and Chris, I did see that you added some feature ideas to the discussion forum, and we have a VIPM ID exchange. Absolutely. If you have features that you need for your software engineering work and your continuous integration, your automated build process, and your automated software delivery process, let us know what they are. And, we definitely want to add new features that are helping people do better software engineering with VIPM.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thanks, Chris.
We just need to know what those use cases and features are, so please post them.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think one of the things that we're going to see as we have now VIPM Community Edition is that I think we're going to see some use cases that maybe we hadn't foreseen, which is great. And now with VIPM Browser also, I'm just really curious to hear from people how they're using it and how it's making their lives hopefully better. But basically, we're really wanting for people to share their feedback. I mean, I don't see any more questions, so I think we can wrap up. And I appreciate your time, Jim, and everybody that has decided to join. And feel free to reach out to us via our website, via VIPM forums, and hopefully we can do this again. And hopefully next time we look more prepared. But
absolutely. Hope everybody out there is enjoying working from home. I also wanted to just add, so I just got a haircut and a new shave from my kids yesterday. So this is a new look for me. It may not last past the working from home phase. I had a full beard yesterday morning, so we'll see how this goes.
Good disclaimer.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Javier. Thanks, everybody who tuned in. Okay. Talk to you later.